शुभं त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
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 It's a pleasure to see all of you. Today is a very special day actually, because 3 new sessions are being taken, and the first is Happy Classroom. If you see Happy Classroom, it seems to be very, funny that happy. We all becomes happy, but happy is not so easy. It's very difficult job to keep the classroom as happy classroom. I was reading somewhere that for happy classroom, we have to switch over to KYS. Like the bank is having KYC, know your customer. We should know KYS, know your student. And then a number of things are there which is required to be happy. But still, I feel it is very difficult to make a happy classroom. It is something, the concept seems to be very easy, but in reality, very difficult. Hats off to our teachers who convert a bored classroom into the happier classroom. I have seen many classes where children are very happy because the teacher is doing a number of activities. Teachers keep children free. Children are positive, they are energetic, and there's no enmity. They are celebrating together, and every child is having equal opportunity. Number of things are there. It seems like that they are playing in the class rather than going to the school. It seems that they are in the play field. So number of things are there. And today, the man who is presenting this happy classroom to you is a person who used to remain outside the class than that inside the class. A very dashing teacher. He is known to most of us because he is a regular contributor, and I don't think there is any such type of course we have conducted without him. So Dr. Sabyasachi Mazumdar is a teacher. He's a national teacher actually. He's got national award uh, from the President of India. And if you see, his teaching style is entirely different. He is a environmentalist, naturalist, and he is the president of so many associations, so many uh, organizations. If you see that in the class, he is more concerned to the innovation, experimentation, sustainability. How can we use the different type of methodology? How can we inculcate the environmental awareness to the children, a holistic education? And I have seen that during uh, his service, he used to carry the children to Sundarbans to see that the children should learn how the delta of the Sundarban is there and how the vegetation of Sundarban is destroyed. So he believed in the experiential learning. He has done a lot of work on marine sciences, marine biology. But the main thing here we are concerned is about how he inspires educators, how he inspires students, how he become friendly with the children, how he make a mark in the field of education. So all these things makes him a great teacher. So let us welcome Dr. Sabyasachi Mazumdar. And Dr. Mazumdar will let you know about the happy classrooms. So Dr. Mazumdar, the stage is all set for you.
Thank you, sir, for such an wonderful introduction. You always act as a mentor to me, and you always speak a lot about me. I am one of the teachers who are trying to make classroom happy, and this for the next few minutes, let's share our experiences so that we can discuss some very important points, as because happiness is a pivotal factor in teaching learning process. And so we need, this is an important topic for discussion. And as teacher being the pivotal in making a classroom happy, and there are various other stakeholders. So there are people, there are process, there are places, there are principles. All these synergistically can make our classroom happy. So with this few words, let us once again, a very good afternoon to all my friends of Bhavan's fraternity and others who are present here in this workshop. It's indeed a privilege for me to be with you all. And I believe that this type of capacity development program, which is going on for the last few years since COVID, is definitely enriching all of us in different ways to ultimately we can just this enriched empowerment helps us, our learners, to be benefited. And I once again remain thankful to Dr. Sharma for organizing various such programs. So without much delay, let's begin. And as I've told you, the 4 key pillars for a happy classroom being people, process, place, and principles. And it's indeed, a happy classroom is just like a heaven. It will give you an heavenly feeling. And you can see in this, is it visible? The slides are visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can see this, just this little toddler of, say, pre-primary section. See the happiness in her. She is a special child, yet she is delivering, she is expressing her happiness while dealing with her peer. So as a teacher, as a mentor, we always want to see such happy classroom, happy learners. And because of much pressure nowadays, because we mostly concerned about these marks, tests, this happiness is an impediment. All these things are impediment to this concept of happiness, though this is not actually true. There is no antagonism between academic achievement and happiness. Rather, the reverse is the truth. So we can have many will see some good pictures. So here is a pictorial. Can anybody suggest something from this? Any of our friends? Yes. I have shown two things here. Anyone? My friends? We can see that this is a happy classroom. All the learners are in very jovial mood. And we can also... Yes, yes.
Amit Kumar, Bhawans Kesari Devi Kanoria Vidya Mandir. Any student can give the answer without any fear.
Yes, it's just a discussion. We'll love to have this discussion, and that will make it more interactive. I have seen two things. One thing is the jovial nature, joyful. All are in a jovial mood. Another thing is a recently introduced thing. Can anybody? See, I've made these through AI only. So prompting can give you a very good account of the product. So here I have prompted that give me a happy Indian classroom, because they are AI biased are there, bias. Mostly AI operating through the Indian perspectives are not usually shown. But when you have told about Indian, they have given me a figure like this, where you will see that. So I've seen that as a formal artist. Can you please give me a picture of a happy classroom in Indian context, in a primary Indian school? They have shown. So we can now play with the AI also in various ways. So AI is not ruining the whole thing. We can have judicious use of it and can make the things also a very good learning aid. Here you can see another dimension of a happy classroom. Can you notice? Yes, my friend, a little bit interaction can make it more impactful. Can you notice, my friends?
Here, namaskar,
Yes.
sir.
Namaskar. Can you see that
Yes.
I have made through AI? Here is a original version of a happy classroom after 3 hours of grueling session, rather. It's a...
Yes, sir. Here I can see it is an excursion, and on the excursion, there are many children who are just going on that trip, and they all are having the happy faces. They all are enjoying their excursion made by or even trained by the teacher, whosoever is going with them. They are on educational trip somewhere, and they are showing the happy faces that yes, they are enjoying and they are learning something new by going at an outer environment. Thank you.
Great. Great. Kamini madam, is great that you have seen that they are in a happy mood. That is great. But this is not in an excursion. This yes. This is in the school itself. At the end of the session, we used to have some study camp. And in one such study camp, after a 3 hour of grueling interactive session, still they are in a jovial mood. And that is visible. It's in the school itself. But joy written on all of them in their faces. So I made a photograph with AI, and here is an original version of the same thing. This one, can anybody suggest something different? We are talking much about this in the new NEP. Just discuss. It will make it more relevant. Yes? Any one of us, my friends? Here, it's a field-based learning where students, you can see that their face, their non-verbal appearance can suggest that they are really happy after a venture outside their classroom, obviously an academic venture in and around a coastal zone of West Bengal, coastal stretches of West Bengal. Digha, you can know, a very well-known tourist site where we used to go with academic venture. So there are various dimensions of a happy classroom. This one, any idea?
Sir, this can be an exchange program.
Yes, exchange program. That is number one observation, correct observation. Happy teachers. That's a primary prerequisite for a happy classroom. So we should bring back our childness in us. We should be happy enough. We should be in positive frame of mind to make our classroom happy. Anything else you can add? Yes, of course, it's an exchange program, Indo-Japanese exchange program. You see my Japanese friends, they are all teachers from different schools, and they are side by side. That's great. This one. Any idea? What can we conclude from this one? Yes? It's all open-ended. Any answer is a correct answer.
So yoga for mental health and peace.
Okay.
Seems like senior citizens club.
Yes. Thanks a lot for interacting. See, these group of people were celebrating their 48th reunion of their school life. Okay. And here you can see, we can say that age is not a bar for happiness. Isn't it?
Sir, is it laughing therapy?
No. It's not laughing club. They usually have a yearly reunion. This is a hostel school, and they are all now above 70 years old. Even some are on their 80s and 85, 90s. This gentleman now is around 90. And each year they perform one reunion. Still now, it's declining in number because many of them are no more. But after a session, they are in a natural jovial mood. So we can conclude that age can never be a bar for happiness. Okay. So friends, that's what I have told at the beginning. Academic Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Sorry. So as I've told you that happiness and academic excellence are not, they are not competing priorities. Rather, there is a distinct link, synergy between happiness and learning. And in SDG, the two side-by-side goals, SDG 3 that ensures and promote well-being, and SDG 4, quality education, good health and well-being and quality education are synergistic in nature. Therefore, happy schools will always benefit quality learning. Many of these SDG goals are related, and they are contributing. Quality education doesn't only centers around goal 1, goal 4, rather goal 1, goal 2, goal 4, even goal number 17, partnership, is a big contributor for quality education. Here's another one. If you are a contributor of a happy classroom, your students will always recognize you. So be happy and be colorful all along. Here you see, even after 20 years, these are my students. They are enjoying with me. Here it is a soccer match. You know about the famous East Bengal club. And you see, while I am entering, these students also get to know about me. They are also there. And this gentleman is one of my students. And he was there as a security personnel, rough personnel. So all this, and here you see two of my lady students are in CRPF in another mode. So always think about what you will be there, remembered by your students, and as a contributor of a happy classroom, you can always be there in their heart. So as I've told you, teachers plays a very pivotal role. So be there in every sphere, and that's a holistic 360-degree approach of remaining happy. Anything here? How you can describe this particular photograph with reference to our topic? Anybody? Yes, my friends. Is
So
it not?
here
Yes.
students are experiencing new types of knowledge. They are
Yes,
learning
yes.
about cooking, they are learning about the car, they are enjoying the things by going to the, like, on the right side of that, we can see like they are going on that
Oh, biar
particular
ko rin na to.
place and they're just noticing that. In reality, they are
Ito saka?
experiencing, so that an image can be framed in their mind and they will do that thing, they will remember that thing thoroughly.
Yes,
And here
yes.
in the left side, they are in the classroom. They are learning about cooking the more. Like, though it is very cumbersome task for all of us to know all about that, but it is a non-flame cooking, and they are learning it thoroughly, and they are
Right.
enjoying as well.
Yes, yes. So
Sir, it
yes,
can be co-curricular activity like.
sure. It can be club activities, it can be co-curricular activities, it can be beyond text learning, and even it can start from the young toddlers. You see here the toddlers are doing that and they're enjoying their cooking, non-flame cooking activities. But on the right-hand side, this is actually alarming. Or my message is that don't engage the learner. You see, this engagement, the unhappiness started from the place and process itself. It's a common feature in majority of our cities where lots of tiny tots were being traveled through this type of unfriendly ways. Even they may be dangerous, can be accident prone, and their infancy can be butchered, infancy can be caged. So these are two antagonistic concepts. I'm showing side by side. So to make a happy classroom, we need the ancillary system also happy. That is very essential prerequisite. So as I've told you, for making a happy classroom, there are scientific, philosophical, and normative policies. As a philosopher, happiness is the core purpose of life and education. And they talk about schools which have such legacy of having a suitable space for cultivating happiness in terms of community, personal freedom, character development, skill development, and of course, this academics. So holistic learning is a very important feature for happy school, and happiness is recognized as the pursuit of as a fundamental human goal long back in 2011 by United Nations General Assembly. So as per UN Charter, this is also a very important feature, and philosophically it is also correct. Likewise, in terms of normative values, human rights and other rights, child rights, happy school is a bare minimum thing. Likewise, the science of learning also talk about this. Yes. As Aristotle once said that happiness is the meaning and the purpose of life. So this purpose of life must be there even in the classroom. And since school shapes the societies of the future, so there must be an intermingling relationship between this happiness and schools, though the real scenario is far from the truth. As you can see, that 250 million children is still out of school, more dropouts are coming, fringe population, women are more prone to them. 44 million teachers need to fill. There is a huge gap of teachers, dearth of teachers. Many of the teachers are suffering from burnt out and stresses, heavy workload, exam orientation, rigid learning, bullying. All these are there, which are against a happy classroom. 763 million illiterates are there. Jobs and skills never match. Declining mental health is a big issue, and disruptive technological change, including these technology drawbacks, they are all rising. Huge question mark on the effort of the teachers for making classroom happy. While we talk about happiness, we must consider the social goods and services that the schools are providing for making individuals, families, and communities happy. And while doing that, happy schools, we have two very important features while dealing happiness. Number one is eudaimonic happiness, that is purposeful life, meaning living a purposeful and meaningful life. That is one part of happiness. And the positive emotion, that's the emotional state, that is the hedonic part. So these two must go side by side. So when we talk about happy schools, it equally embraces both the eudaimonic happiness and hedonic happiness, that is purposeful and meaningful living, coupled with this positive emotional state. While we are dealing with, while we are teaching, while we are advocating something, while we are interacting, we must be considerate about both the forms, the meaningful life as well as the emotional part. And here lies the main players, the chemicals you are all aware of. The dopamine, that is the motivational molecule, the mood stabilizer, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin, the happy molecules. And interaction, any item, any activities that pumped in these chemicals, neurochemicals, can change the neurochemistry of our brain, and along with that, the sleep hormone melatonin. And that synergism can sharpen the body in a synergistic manner, body, mind, heart, and soul together. We talk about hands-on experiment. Rather, we should concentrate on hands-on, head-on, and hearts-on. All three be there, all three. So these are the molecules that inflict neurochemical changes in our biochemistry, which leads to such happiness, sustained happiness. So our effort must be there through our activities, either through us by people, process, that is through pedagogy, places, that is through our school system, and principles, that is through policies and other ways. We must pump in all these molecules so that we can have a happy classroom, happy school. So there are several factors. One study by Sadegi has shown that these are some of the important factors for happiness in schools. We can talk about, everybody as a teacher are aware of this. We just regurgitate the thing, replenish the thing. Reducing academic burden. That doesn't mean that dilution of curriculum, but definitely reduction of academic burden, improvement of soft skills or life skills, performing fun activities, playing to students' strength. Often we see that parents compel them to take science. Parents compel them to go to those coaching classes, making their life miserable. So we have to play according to the student's strength. Appropriate information, beautifying the ambience, nurturing the students' talents and curiosity. That is very important, to make them curious. Questioning, I have a separate slide for that. Catering welfare works, as because we are all in the community, and service learning is a very important feature. Working for the service. Sometimes you have to go outside to cater the need. I see many of the schools are doing that. Going to the villages, going to the underprivileged people, going to the those physically or mentally challenged schools, and that will create empathy, that will develop a feeling for them. And employing qualified teachers. Yesterday, Madam talked about various group of teachers, the sloths one. So this is very important. Our strength is based on teachers. Teachers, how they are passionate, how they are committed, how they, as Sarah started with KYC, know your classroom. That is very important. Now, no longer we are just teaching, we are mentoring. And we must know each and every child's bare minimum credential. That is very important. I know this is, it seems that I am preaching, but not necessarily, because this is now bare minimum. Otherwise, you cannot be at par with them. How? There are several factors. Say, for example, some are many of our nuclear family. Both the parents might be working. Single parents are there. Many a thing are contributing. So you might have some mental health issues among the family members. So all these must be at the fingertips of the teachers so that he or she can behave accordingly with the student. while making a classroom happy, we have to take care of this. This is a very important feature, and that is only possible if we are passionate, if we are committed, and of course, we must have enough subject knowledge and pedagogical expertise. That can come. Pedagogy can come after experiences. So discrimination and encouraging persuasion, making appropriate educational plan for better understanding. That's how pedagogy can act. Providing appropriate infrastructures, very important. The classroom, the laboratory, the playground, the ambience of the school campus, the washroom. I will show you another slide. Remember this, this one is a very important feature because this is a real crisis in Indian schools. And you see both crisis for the teachers as well as for the students. Many students try to avoid going to the washroom for the whole 6 hours of time, causing enormous damage to their physiology. So is our teachers also. It's not all the staff room. Those schools having good facilities are lucky enough, but in majority of these schools, this is in absolutely disarray, very difficult condition, and this needs to be improved. And there's a huge difference in this in other countries I've seen. That's absolutely neat and clean. That's part of the classroom. That's an adjacent class, adjunct to the classroom. That must be also human resource that I've mentioned. There should be good administrators, teachers, caregivers, other staffs. So everything must be very important. Various activities students should participate, that is helpful for their jovialness, healthy environment, sharing common respect, trust, and admiration among all the stakeholders. Creativity and innovation, we are talking about critical thinking, creative thinking, innovative thinking, thinking beyond the box. So all this, nowadays we are talking about the higher part of the Bloom's taxonomy, where creation is a very important feature. Teamwork, as I've told you, teamwork can solve many a problem, and that's also given. Partnership in goal number 17. So the assessment must be flexible, multidimensional, and stress-free. NEP is talking about nowadays that there can be multiple time exams, but there are several ways. Besides summative assessment, formative assessments can help us in this regard. So that it should be flexible and of course stress-free, and reducing students' worries and anxieties in various ways. These can help to make our classroom happy. Here you can see some of the ways and paths of making classroom happy. See, students, they are participating in a quiz competition and they are becoming champion, and see the happiness in them. Here you see it's another group of students. So as a teacher, always try to remain associated with their feelings, with their pros and cons in an age-appropriate manner so that they can part of your happy classroom. Here you see another in a Flower Lovers Association competition. After winning a trophy, see the joy in them. Here you see taking selfie. So these are beyond class activities, but these are part and parcel of a happy classroom. Often going to extracurricular sports activities. So as a teacher, be with them. Here you see, even after passing, you can establish bond. Here you see attending one of my students' wedding ceremony. So these are all a community concept, societal bonding, and all started with the class in the classroom. If that is not a happy classroom, you cannot expect this type of bonding. So these are small events, but all are contributing or directing towards a happy classroom. Before going further, if you have any question, you can ask or you can discuss before going further. My friends, or even if it is a boring one, you can say to me. Yes, my friends, any question so far? So you see the jovial nature is depicted always if it is a happy classroom. So try to be there in various ways. Here you see, really they are in jovial mood. That means teaching learning is going on. This is an indicator, proxy indicator that yes, teaching learning is going on perfectly. That makes their emotional, mental, and physical growth in a proper way. So be a part in various ways. Anyway, it may be dancing, it may be participating in their games and sports activities. So these will give you an added benefit of interacting with them. They will become part and parcel of your classroom. Classroom management will also become much more easier since they will have mutual respect. They will trust you when they will find you that beside delivering in a superlative manner in the subject matter, you are also equally taking part with them in extracurricular activities in any form. Now I'm talking about a very important aspect. You see, in our brain, there is a small part called amygdala, and this amygdala is the culprit that is controlling our emotional behavior, emotional function, the negative emotional process as well as the positive processes. These are being controlled by this amygdala under the limbic system. And nowadays you are aware of the EQ, emotional quotient. In the job interview, this is more being treated as more important than IQ. And Daniel Goleman, the famous author of that book, Emotional Intelligence, that two part is very equally important. Two minds, one is a thinking mind, another is a feeling mind. And if thinking goes wrong, your feeling will be wrong. If the feeling goes wrong, you cannot be in a proper thinking array. So both are very important, and emotional quotient, emotional intelligence also pave the way for interpersonal relationship, also pave the way for this emotional attachment with the things. So that will be very important in a happy classroom context also. See here, understanding oneself is very important, and in that case, emotional self-awareness, emotional literacy, and self-assuredness are three critical factors. If you can understand oneself, if a student can understand oneself, he can manage in a better way through emotional self-control, adaptability, optimism, self-motivation. If you can do that, he will be in a position to understand other. And if you can understand other, he is a bit empathetic, recognizing the emotions and analyzing the emotions. And if you can do that, the relationship can be well managed. So that's very important. Play, social development, helping student to understand their feeling, motivation and praise. Even if there are separations, as a positive separation, resilience, how to bounce back in crisis time, how to take active decision, correct decision, managing our behavior through positive reinforcement, conflict resolution, resolving of conflict, anger management. All these are important features of emotional competence. And as a teacher, we must have good emotional competence to deal with the students. As well, we must develop this emotional competence among our students also. And empathic, being aware of our emotion, setting boundaries, bouncing back to resilience, celebrating even small activities, small wins, thinking purposefully and objectively, maintaining of healthy interpersonal relationship. These are some important signs of healthy emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence is very important as far as healthy classroom is concerned. You know, the Bhutan is one of the most happiest country, and the gross national happiness index by measuring development progress, and in their activities they show these are the features, few parameters: psychosocial or psychological well-being, health, punctuality, education, cultural diversity and resilience, good governance, community vitality, ecological diversity, and living standards. These are few of the important parameters of gross national happiness index, based on which gross national happiness index. And in a happy classroom also, we must include all these things in some way or other. It must be a melting pot rather than a salad bowl in terms of cultural diversity. And diversity is very important. India being a diverse country, different dresses, different food habit, different weather, different culture, different linguistic diversity. So all this is a really a challenging task of maintaining that diversity in the classroom. Yesterday, a lot about this inclusivity was talked about by Dr. Thakur. So, beside the philosophical aspects, these normative aspects are equally important. As I've told you, that happiness towards a holistic approach to development was a UN resolution. Based on that, right to education, human rights, free and compulsory quality education on a global basis, child right, that is non-discrimination, protection from violence, access to leisure and play, and uphold the concept of education for peace and human right. The status of teachers, very important. You cannot consider that teachers will be ill-treated or burdensome. That cannot help to make a happy classroom. So in normative foundation, these are equally important. Global citizenship, global goals, especially SDG 4 and SDG 3, these are few normative formation of prerequisite for a happy classroom beside the philosophic one. And there are psychological and science of learning, positive psychology with emotions, good interpersonal relationship, meaningful activities, sense of accomplishment. These are hugely beneficial for the stakeholders, and that feeling happy will develop creativity and increase performance, and cognitive and affective areas are connected. So one is complementary to the other. And if you have a positive emotion, then automatically motivation, attention, and memory will be in your favor, and that will contribute towards a happy classroom. As it's said, happy schools always benefit quality learning. And optimum learning environment, better and deeper learning with right pedagogical approach. Happy students always achieve well, and achieving students are always happy. So all these are science. So scientific aspect, philosophical aspect, and normative aspect, all suggestive of happy classroom. And psychologically, Positive emotion, engagement, relationships, purposeful mindset, and accomplishment are few important features for happy classroom. So as I've told you, the three major pillars: people, friendship and relationship, positive attitude of the teacher, respect for diversity and differences, inclusiveness, positive and collaborative values and practices, working condition of the teachers, well-being of the teachers, very, very important. We cannot be considered as at the receiving end. Skills and competencies of teachers, very important. Process, reasonable and fair workload, collaborative and team spirit, fun and engaging pedagogy, learner-centric pedagogy, head-on, hands-on, heart-on pedagogy, learners' freedom and creativity, sense of achievement, extracurricular and co-curricular activities, useful and relevant, engaging learning, and mental health and well-being are processes which must be part and parcel of a happy classroom. And the condition, the school environment, security, greenness, the vision and mission of the authority and the leadership, discipline, sanitation and nutrition, and democratic management practices. These are the three pivotal ways of enriching a happy classroom. So we have personal awareness, that is attention and self-awareness, social awareness, that is interpersonal and social relationship, systemic awareness, that is interdependence among various stakeholders, various systems, personal care, that is self-compassion, social care, that is compassion for others, going for flexibility, adaptability, empathy, systemic care, recognizing the common humanitarian approach, then personal engagement, that is self-regulation, personal social engagement, that is relationship skills, societal aspects, and systemic engagement, that is globalness and community engagement, that all are important facets of a happy classroom. So process is very important. The people is very important. So the relationship between the different stakeholders, parents, teachers, students, support staff, administrators, these are all very important. Supportive and collaborative relationship, physical and socio-emotional well-being, and positive attitude and attributes can play a very important role in making a school happy. Now I'm giving you a question. Again, we are in the mode of an interaction. This is, I believe I have incorporated this slide. Can you suggest why? Any of my friend? Yes, friends, anybody?
Color and style.
Color and style. So what is your suggestion? This is a common practice in Indian adolescents in the school, some way or other. You will be noticing 2, 3, 4, 5 straying like this or having like this, isn't it? Even in some schools, this is also common. Can you suggest? Right or wrong? Friends, we have
Sir, it can be experiencing new things, feeling happy about themselves.
yes. So what will you think? Will debar it or continue to grow? See, we need to have a balance. Gen Z, the generation gap is now is within 5 years. We are seeing a turnover. And this boy is imitating some role model from the society itself. So you cannot blame him or her totally. And we need to as an adult individual, we need to have our a little bit change in our mindset, how far we'll allow. This cannot be the only criteria of considering him or her disobedient. In many cases, a change in perception can lead to a better result, leading to a happy classroom. Often, if you go on nagging, you have to cut it, that cannot yield result. Am I correct? How many of you are experiencing such things? In Indian schools, I believe it's at least a few we are experiencing such thing, and we need a in-depth introspection in this regard, why they are doing like that and how best we can tackle this. So in terms of process, we should have a balanced curriculum, of course. We should have joyful and engaging pedagogies. I mentioned about joyful and engaging pedagogies beyond classroom, even from within the campus, outside the campus, from the local market, from the forest, seaside resort, anything, anywhere. From the family itself, from the society itself, club itself, project-based learning, many things. Nowadays, we are talking about multidisciplinary projects. Even from crises like climate crisis, therefore also we can learn and we can incorporate them in our classroom for the resilience purpose. And holistic and flexible assessment, summative, formative, many ways, some are paper-based, some are even in digital form. Even some, we are talking nowadays about the flipped classroom, where asynchronous material will be sent, and later on synchronous material will be, in the classroom, we'll have group activities and other critical and creative activities. So process is very important. Here you see a product of a process in which project-based activities of biodiversity has been registered in from the school. But at the same time, I have a webinar in this platform only. This digital detox, this is again very important in terms of this digital age. Digital detoxification is equally important among the young learners to make a happy classroom. This is what I am telling about. We should encourage asking questions and answering those questions. We should not make a feeling that the answer must be always correct answer, that the teacher is expecting correct answer only. Then the questioning will stop and the answering will also be stopped. Here, through these CCE activities, we have seen that even those slow learners or those who try to remain silent in the classroom, through other activities, through other assessment process, they are equally brilliant. And so this inquisitiveness increment through question is a very important aspect of school happiness. And this book, if you have a possession of this, go through this, a wonderful book from Kamala, What Did You Ask at School Today? You will be benefited, will be enriched. Here you see, I've told you the teachers things are very important, because happy teachers can make happy classroom. Here you see, these are all teachers of a secondary school in Philippines. So see the jovial nature. So we must arrange certain things, not only one item in the annual sports, very often, for our own personal well-being, so that if we are strong enough, we are happy enough, we can make our classroom happy. Here you see teachers, they are all teachers, different activities. Can you suggest, is it a happy classroom? Yes, sir. Anybody? Is it a classroom? Is it a classroom? Anybody? My friends, am I audible?
Yes, sir. It is
Sir, they are
it is
learning, but
learning.
outside. Outside the classroom, they are learning.
Learning. And see the joy in them. So sometimes bring them outside your four walls of the classroom. This is, of course, a classroom. This is learning is going on. And you see, they themselves are the owner of their learning. Here, I am not here. Initially, I initiate the process, and ultimately, they are the owner of their learning. That's very important. Make reflections a part and parcel of your teaching learning. Here you see another way, the joyness outside the classroom, societal service learning I have talked about is a beach cleaning activities going on by the students. Even principal administrator sir is involved. Take part in games and sports activities, dance and music activities as a teacher. So the students will feel that you are part and parcel of these community, this teaching community, learning community, and that will help you in classroom management. Any comment on this particular photograph? Yes?
Students love to play very much, sir. They are outside.
See, that means school is a holistic place for learning, not only in the classroom, outside also see the emotion in them. So that's very important. Individual things are important things. Sometimes makes fun part of your classroom. Can you see the change in profession of Dr. Mazumdar with one of my students behind? So jokes, anecdotes, sometimes that can be very to break the monotony, to make it happy classroom. Exposure to real life can make them happy. So variety of fun and engaging teaching learning approach, learner freedom and creativity, teamwork and collaboration, positive teachers attitude and attributes. These are well helpful to make classroom happy. Okay. And inclusion, positive and collaborative, diversity, inclusion, experience and extracurricular activities, attitude, positive attitude of the teachers and learners, autonomy. All this will allow the students to feel themselves included. And if their feeling is inclusion, they will be happy. In terms of place, safe, healthy, accessible place, sustainable infrastructure, functional and inclusive design. You have seen the ramps and special washroom for the challenged individual, and school as a community hub. All this can make school happy. Here I am telling about a place. This again an AI generated. I have told the AI to generate a beautiful place for learning ambience, a learning ambience, a classroom. This is one it has generated. We are in majority of the cases, our classroom arrangement are stereotyped. Break the stereotype in some way or other. I am not telling about making this like this. If that can be made, that is perfect. Try to break the stereotype in some way or other. That can also contribute. Here you see Filipino schools with breaking of stereotypes. Is it a AI generated? This one? Any idea? Any comment? Quick. We are running out of time. We'll complete soon. Any idea?
No,
Great.
sir.
No, sir.
This is a open air laboratory, library in a Japanese school. So see how happiness can be incorporated. And here you see a staff room, a particular teacher's table. So each of these things are contributing factor. And there I have mentioned about this. This is a very important features. In majority of the schools, these are lacking, very not an unhealthy, these washrooms. This is not helping in making a happy school, happy classroom. So we have to be very careful as an administrator, as a teacher. We must, this is enough scope for improvement in Indian schools. Majority of the schools, those where it is done, they are lucky. So happy schools can be made up of these various stakeholders, students, leaders, healthy workers, support staffs, parents, teachers. They can have teachers union, community organization, NGOs, parent organization, parent teachers organization, and they can be under the umbrella of different ministries. So all these are part and parcel intermingling with each other to make it happy. And in terms of principles, trust, inclusion, and empowerment must be there to make a school happy. So a double crisis of well-being and academic excellence, comprehensive holistic policy, rethinking of quality education, because skill development is taking a front seat nowadays, because we are under the this highly technological advancement period. All these are now must be considered in happiness process. Crisis in education requires that we should rethink the purpose of education and make ourselves happy. It should be systematic. It should be indigenous or endogenous, rooted within the local area, local specific. It should be inclusive. It should be collaborative and participative. It should be holistic. These must be there in the curricular vision. If the curriculum favors this, automatically that can be included in our happy classroom. And as I've told you, joyful and engaging pedagogies beyond the textbook, through experiential learning, learning from habitat, learning from indigenous people, learning from traditional wisdom, all can make the all-round development, holistic development of our learners. Here you see the engagement of learners when in a joyful classroom, though the classroom is outside the classroom. Here you can see the joy. So these are things only within the locality of these schools. Only you need to venture a bit. Vermicomposting, another way. Rainwater harvesting, another way. There are various government projects dealing with where we can involve our students to make them happy. Here you see how they are happy outside the classroom, but this is an academic field trip. Even parents are taking part. Here you see that at the beginning I've shown you a normal feature of happiness. That same academic camp, during their lunch time, they are taking this. So these are several ways. In Bhutan, they are dealing with several ways to make it happy. In Korean schools, you have seen that private education, homework, preparation, self-study, resting at home, exercise, playing with friends, after-school care center, part-time job, others. Hope and reality, how it is, it varies. More it will be realistic, more happy will be the thing. So student-student engagement, student-teacher interaction, student-parent interaction, teachers-teachers interaction, teachers-administrator interaction, parent-teacher interaction, teacher-manager interaction, teacher support staff interaction, teachers human technology interaction. All these are important things for making our class happy. Bullying is an impediment of happiness, and you can see the bullying percentage in red in different parts of the continents, different continents. And these are the values which makes happiness: respect, safety, inclusion, equity, friendship, cooperation, freedom, motivation, empathy, creativity. And these are some counter values: autocracy, demotivation, bureaucracy, negative thinking, lack of cooperation, judgment, lack of teamwork, etc., etc. So we will only choose this. So wisdom and knowledge, temperance, courage, justice, transcendence, and love and humanity. This favors happy classroom. See the happiness in happy classroom. School campus for happy classroom. Exchange program for making a happy classroom. Outing of the private students making a happy classroom. You can make storytelling as a part of your teaching learning activities, or you can be a science communicator or any communicator to make your student feel about the whole process and make itself happy. So learner well-being, leadership from the school management, whole school approach, rethinking the existing pedagogical approach, and happy schools align with broader educational target, that is sustainable development goals, global citizenship goals, SDG 4. All these are important features. Shifting teachers' attitude and teaching approaches is a must for making happiness in the classroom. And friends, charge on for as a custodian of a happy school. Thanks. Now is now open for discussion. Any question we can discuss? I believe just I've given you a brief account. Maybe it's too heavy. Still, at least if I can cover something, we can discuss and make it part of the things can be incorporated in our teaching learning to make it happy. Any other question? Thanks a lot for such patient hearing for such a long time. Anybody?
So anybody who want to ask the question? So Madhuri madam, are you there?
I'm here, sir. Good evening, sir.
Please stand the vote of thanks.
As Mazumdar, sir, you have given a very nice and informative session. Already I have taken once also when you have given by CBSE. And I will like to add on that our school has changed our report card, holistic report card from LKG to 2 on the competency base, sir.
Great.
Complete activities we are doing competency, and the competency goals are added, and we have changed. And activity based teaching is going on for the slow learners or the bright students also. So very nice and very informative, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. It's a privilege for me to interact with all of you.
Thank you very much, sir. हमारे स्कूल बदल रहे हैं. We are changing, and the holistic report, progress report, is one of the steps that every school.
Yes.
I don't know about the other schools, but in Bhavan, every school is following this holistic progress card, HPC.
Yes.
Maybe that other one we also be following, but it is a good step.
Sir, SQA also we have adopted, sir.
Wow. Yes.
So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, us. And I hope that in future also we'll get much more fruitful session from you. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.